guys, it's Alison Creamer, and I am here with Conversations with Creamer podcast, and today's episode is with LeZandra. LeZandra is a boudoir photographer and has been doing it for a few years now, and she has a beautiful blog. We're going to have that in the show notes so you can kind of get some ideas of what she does. But LeZandra, tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been doing it, and how in the world did you go from probably plain photographer to, oh my gosh, I'm a photographer and now I make an income?
Yeah. So I started my business when I was in college. I went to school for psychology. I was planning on being a sex therapist, and somehow we were living in Hawaii and just started picking up a camera when I was there because I wanted to take pictures while we were out and about at the beaches and things like that. And my second session ended up being a boudoir session, and from there it just really fell in line with what I wanted to do with my life, and just being able to focus more on shooting women and working with women was something that it's always been something I'm passionate about. So
kind of reminds me of the little gif where you see a woman looking in the mirror and she sees this huge woman, and in reality she's not.
Yeah.
So you're really able to take that true reflection of how beautiful somebody is and let them see the beauty that you see. And I think that's why I really like your photography, your sessions. I'm a we'll say mid-40s woman, not real excited about the way I look these days, but some of the images that I saw on your blog they're beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it's not about sex. It was about beauty.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you do when somebody's really nervous and you transform that.
Well, everyone comes in with insecurities, and I think that's the biggest thing, is acknowledging that everyone is coming from a different place in life. We have mothers, grandmothers. We have, my client last week was recently widowed, and she's just turning 40. So we have people from all different backgrounds, all shapes and sizes, and everyone's coming because they want to feel loved and appreciated, and to be able to look in the mirror and be able to feel confident. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing that I try to emphasize is, this is where you're at, this is where we want to be, how can we get you there? Mm-hmm. I do have a degree in psychology, and so I use that quite a bit with working with my clients. There's a lot that goes into breaking down different barriers that we have. And I think as women too, we have these different roles that we play, and we're so focused on being a good wife and being a good mother and being a good this and this and this, that we don't take time for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that's been the biggest life lesson for me lately, as well as my clients. And so it's definitely a process. When I work with them, they help me as well. So there's a relationship that's formed that we definitely work through during the session.
So tell me about your typical client. What would be, we'll say, the average person that comes in and what they're looking for?
So most of my clients are, I want to say, early 30s to mid 40s. They're either married or single, actually. A lot of my clients are single, and they're doing their session for themselves. But I think the most common thread is to be able to exist in a space where you feel uninhibited and free of judgment, mm-hmm. And to be able to walk in and feel confident and to feel beautiful and to feel empowered. That's the biggest thing, is women that want to be empowered.
I think a lot of people, I'm assuming now, is when you see boudoir photography, you think, oh my gosh, that's going to be like completely half naked, and it's going to be things that I wouldn't want to put out in my house. But that's not necessarily the case. There's all kinds of boudoir photography, right? Yes. So you can go for the very insecure or the what am I trying to say? A little bit more covered up.
More tame, yeah.
More tame, all the way to the person that really wants to rock their world.
Yeah. And a lot of my clients really do come in. It's funny, they come in saying, like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. And then within minutes, they're like, you know what? A lot of times we're at the end of the session and they're completely nude and they're like, I never thought I'd be comfortable with a stranger. I can't believe I'm doing this. But the biggest thing that I love is they say it just feels so easy and natural. It doesn't feel like I'm second guess anything. I don't feel like you're judging me for how I look. Mm-hmm. All of the women that we work with are mothers. So we have all female staff. All of us are moms. I tell people we've seen it all. We have no judgment here. We are all different backgrounds and shapes and everything. So when they come in, it's not like they're coming into picture perfect models that are going to be judging them. They're coming into a group of women that are very real and very down to earth.
So why do you feel? I would probably always assume that the one person comes in as photographs for their spouse, their partner, their fiance, whatever it is. But have you found that there are people that come in just for themselves because maybe they're at a transition in life and?
Oh yes, definitely. And even my clients that come in to do their session as a gift, they say it ends up being more for them anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They say, I originally want to do this for my partner, but it's really for me because I need this. But a lot of my clients are single, and a lot of my clients are, like my client last week, recently widowed, divorced, going through separation.
They need that reflection.
Exactly.
To I guess, we all, as much as we want to say that we are just these dominant, fierce women who, just love and, think that we're the best in the world, we all have that wonder. I wonder what somebody else sees.
Yeah.
And so you're able to reflect the beautiful part of what somebody sees.
And we always say we are our own worst critics. And when we look at the mirror every day, we don't see the little things that other people see when they look at us. And for me, when I'm meeting somebody and I've never met them before, or we've only talked online or through the phone, I'm meeting them and I like to think it's like a fresh slate. And they come in and a lot of times one of my clients I'll sit with them in hair and makeup and we'll talk and I get to know them. And I watch for little things about them. I feel like everybody has beauty inside them. We just need to allow someone to show us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest thing that I know I've had for my own sessions is needing the permission to feel beautiful and needing the permission because otherwise I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't do it. So it takes me getting out of my comfort zone and having someone sort of guide me through that process. I think a lot of my clients feel that as well.
Mm-hmm. So let's take one step back. So you started photography in Hawaii for yourself, and then started to do a few sessions. How did that lead into boudoir photography? And then when did you get to the point of saying, you know what, I can make a career out of this? How long did that look like for you?
So I started my business when I was 19. My first session was actually with a woman. She'd just flown down from Canada for the weekend because she wanted a vacation in Hawaii because that's what she did. So it was really just working with women. I found that I connect better with them. Men they hate being in front of the camera anyways. But I used to shoot families and weddings.
It's a very vulnerable space.
Oh yes, definitely. And I think for me, I'm a huge introvert, so I work better in small groups. And working very closely with somebody is a lot more comfortable for me versus working, like shooting a wedding, for example. But I started when I was 19. I want to say I was 22 when I went full-time with my business. And that was, during that time, finished school. I worked as an ABA therapist, so I did therapy for children with autism. When I got pregnant, I decided, I can stick with my job or I can go full-time with the business. At that point, my business was really taking off to where I was making more shooting versus doing therapy. So I decided to just go full-time. It also allowed me time to be with my son, so I didn't have to worry about sitters and him being in daycare. I could just stay at home and shoot when I needed and things like that. And I moved into I had a home studio for a couple of years. And in 2014, I moved into my first studio. From there, I moved into a larger space in downtown Norfolk, and I've been there since 2015.
That is awesome. I love the entrepreneur spirit in people, and I love where people take their natural talent, their natural abilities, and they just develop it into a career. And you now have staff. You've been able to open up career and income for other people, which is really where, I think the crux of our country comes from. It's not corporate America, but all of these beautiful small businesses that are encouraging and developing and growing other people. So how many photographers do you have?
So it's just me that shoots. We're looking at hiring an associate photographer, but right now we have our stylist and me. Retoucher as well as an assistant, which will be coming soon, hopefully, because I need that.
That is wonderful. So it feels good to give back.
Exactly.
And that's what you've been able to do as well.
Yeah.
So,
and it's really great watching the stylists grow their businesses and working with them. My focus is really, it's not just for me, it's for my stylists as well. And I want to help them build their businesses to where they don't need me to survive. I want them to be able to have their own client pool and be able to work and do what they're passionate about while still working with me as well.
So you took this for you, but you're also learning the skill of development, leadership, growth, just the whole thing. And it's very empowering. It feels good to have that.
It is. It's fun. It's
So tell me what a typical session could look like.
So typically we have our clients come in, usually start around 10 or 11 a.m. when the lighting is really good. They sit down in hair and makeup, and that usually takes an hour to an hour and a half. It really depends on how much we talk, because sometimes we'll get to talking and we'll just stay in hair and makeup. There was one time we were there for 3 hours. But I tell my clients, you're not rushed here. The only time limit we have is your own. So if you have something to do later, we'll make sure you get there on time. But typically my clients will take the day off from work, or they'll set aside time just so that they can have a whole day of relaxation. So we do hair and makeup, and then right after that we'll start shooting. During that time in hair and makeup, we're getting to know each other and we're getting to talk, so it's not like they're just rushing right in there. Mm-hmm. I know some photographers aren't present during hair and makeup, or they have their clients come with hair and makeup already done. I feel that time is really crucial to getting to know your client.
It's probably relaxing the client a little bit more too.
Oh yeah, because to walk in somewhere and be expected to get in lingerie in front of a stranger is completely, I could not do that. And most of my clients have never been in a state of undress around a stranger before. So I think having that time to relax and just unwind for a bit, especially in the mornings when you're rushing around everywhere, to just sit down and...
Well, who doesn't love getting their hair and makeup done? I mean, it really gives you that time to decompress and feel pretty. You're starting that... I feel pretty, I look good, I'm feeling more confident about what we're getting ready to do.
Yeah, and it feels nice to have someone take care of you.
Yeah.
Sit there and do your hair for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
So it's about a good hour and a half in that, and then how long is the session?
It really ranges. I say 1 to 2 hours. I shoot rather quickly just because I've been doing it for so long. But I tell my clients, we go at your own pace. I don't want you to feel like we're rushing anything, and I don't want you to feel like you have to nail every single pose, because I will overshoot. I'm blind, so I have to overshoot. And then they also need time to get comfortable, and sometimes we have like blinks and things like that. So we just
awkward poses.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to see a little bit more about what you do. I know you have a website. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go ahead and tell me what that is?
Yes, so we have our website. It's LeZandraphotography.com, and then the blog is LeZandraPhotographyBlog.com. We also have Instagram and Twitter, which is at LeZandra Photo, as well as Facebook, which is LeZandra Photography. We do have a client group as well, so any women that are interested in learning more about a session, they can request to be a part of our private client group. It's all women, no men are allowed. And it's really nice, a nice safe space and sort of a community of local women to get together and discuss really anything.
Yeah, how did it work? What'd you think? That kind of stuff. Well, all of this contact information is going to be in the blog post as well, so our listeners can go to the blog and click on those links. If you are listening right now and you just want to call quickly, what number should they call to get in touch with you?
757-663-3164.
And you're located in downtown Norfolk?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, do you only shoot at your studio, or do you shoot on location?
I do shoot on location. If someone has location in mind, I am totally down for it, because I love to get out of the studio.
Okay, so they got some options. Well, I'm so glad you came in, and I definitely initially thought, oh, I don't know about this, but the more I understand it, it really is a give back, and it's that self-esteem building, and we all need to feel pretty, because when we feel pretty, we feel confident. When we feel confident, we can make better choices about everything.
Definitely. And we can show that confidence to other women and help build them up as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in.